Okay. Hi. This is Japanese from Zero Office Hours. It's June 14th, 8:06 a.m. And I swear I should be having a Vietnamese class right now. I booked it the other day, and I went to bed early last night, and I could not sleep all night. Literally, I got maybe 30 minutes of sleep. I was watching, what's the name of the show? Better Call Saul. Okay? All night long, out of order. My ordering is wrong for what I pulled off of the Blu-ray. It's all wrong. So I was watching. I was like, I don't know, why is this happening now? Wow, this show is written really interestingly. Like they just assume you know a bunch of story. And then I would go, oh, that's not named right. And I rewatched back to back, just episodes trying to figure out what was happening. And then I was like, okay. It's 7:30. I woke up, took a quick bath, rushed downstairs, turned my stuff on. Oh my God, all my lights were the wrong coloring because I was doing that weird color live stream the other night. So I'm like fixing it frantically. Then I test my mic, get everything working. It says the lesson's tomorrow at 8. So I messed up. So now I'm doing this super early morning stream just for a bit, and then I'm going to probably sleep all day. Unintended consequences of me trying to learn Vietnamese. Good morning, Prem Chayal. Good morning, Common Commenter. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while, Common Commenter. Oh, let me test my new buttons out. Let's see here. Can I get back to it? Yeah, that works. Nothing on that screen, but what about this screen? Boom. There's my calendar. Tomorrow at 8, I have this lesson. I messed up. I was so ready. Yeah, it's even right there. I swear it was on my calendar, though. But yet it's not. Yeah, I messed up. I probably looked at it last night when it was already past midnight. Konnichiwa, sensei. どうして最近よくライブをしますか? Why am I doing lives recently? It's a good question, which I have already answered a couple times, but I'll answer again because I know people can't be on every live. There's a guy named Kore Kore, a Japanese YouTuber, and I started watching him recently, and I thought it's awesome that he's always live streaming, and he pulls out really cool content from his live streams and makes these clip cuts, and they get millions of views. And most people don't watch the lessons that I make teaching Japanese. So I thought, maybe if I do live streams when I have more energy, not when I slept for 30 minutes and thought I had a lesson, maybe, just maybe, I could grow the channel that way. The thought was if I do more interesting content, and I do have some ideas for long form content that's not Japanese related, but Japan related. And I figured if those videos do really, really well, it'll be more effective than me teaching Japanese because it'll get the people that are interested in Japan to watch it, right? So let's say one of my normal videos gets like that many views, but if I get this many views for like a video on something related to Japan, then this many people will pay attention to the ad where I randomly talk about the Japanese book. Instead of people that are very specifically already learning Japanese coming in, it'll be people that are like just interested in Japan. So part of that is at least me doing the live stream every day. Not every day, but just a lot. This new color, I accidentally have a good light color, I feel like here. It's not too bright. Okay, Victor, it's very simple. I thought today was my Vietnamese lesson. I would not be up this early to do this. I messed up. Also, this button doesn't seem to want to, hang on. Oh, it does work. It's just flipped. I just got the wrong icons. Hi. Wrong icons. All right, I gotta flip that. Let me flip that now while I'm paying attention. I added new camera icons. Apparently this one. Apparently, I've never been on TV, apparently. You guys have seen that guy, right? It's not just me, right? Apparently, I've never been on live YouTube, apparently. All right, now we should be good. Hi, Prem. I could tell by your name that you were watching from India. And I only know one Indian word, and it's a bad word. And it's because there's a few YouTubers that I, for a while, was watching. Well, I was watching, yeah. Jim Browning is one, and the other guy is, I think, well, Kit Boga is another, but Kit Boga doesn't do this. But they both often call, or they have calls with Indian call centers. And one of the guys uses the Indian word that starts with Ben and ends with chode. I didn't want to say it all together when he's yelling at the Indian scammers. I am not from India, of course, but I did do a call to India once, to a college. They wanted to, it was, there was a college class. I wish I could remember the university, some sort of business college. And I was like a guest speaker talking about, it probably didn't make any sense to them. Honestly, I feel like everything I was talking about was very, maybe it makes sense. I don't know. I feel like it was like only centric to what I could do in my life, but I have no idea what life is like in India. So like, I probably said things that were like, wait, what do you mean? That's not even possible here. Or, you know, scammer payback. That's right. Pierogi. Thank you. That's the guy. He calls him Ben Chode. The accent's probably wrong, I'm guessing. Yeah, pierogi. Those videos, after a time, I couldn't watch them anymore. It was too much. It's like too much of like repetition, you know? I binged on them. That's what I do. I'll binge on a series of videos. So anyway, yeah, I just set up all my equipment. Like this is not me ready for a live stream. This is me ready to have a class with Hong Ngang Le, a Vietnamese lesson. That was what I was going to do. Watching from the UK, you say? Wanted to say thank you. I went to the UK a few years back, and I really, really liked it. And I'll tell you what is interesting to me is that when I first landed and I was in the airport, I was lost. I was trying to find the tube. I didn't know where I was. And this lady, this very nice lady, tried to help me, but I did not understand her English. You told to get to the tube, it's told to get to the tube. You just want to go draw to the water to draw. I was so lost. Thank God it was just seemed to be her. Everyone else I understood, but this first lady was the worst person I could have asked for help because I did not understand. Another thing I didn't understand in England was when I was watching TV and there'd be like Irish people on. Irish, maybe they were speaking Gaelic or just had a heavy Irish accent. Irish accent. I don't know, but I couldn't understand. Like, Irish is weird in the fact that it sounds like I should understand, but I didn't understand. I can't even duplicate it. It was so awkward to watch. Hey George, can you share some culture shocks from Japan? Wow, Carl. That's a good one. Culture shocks from Japan. It's okay. It might be difficult for me. I actually have reverse culture shock coming to America. Because I lived in Japan. I went to Japan when I was 9. Or when I was 12. And so I really didn't understand what was culture yet, probably. But let me try to remember. I can just tell you right away, my father traumatized me. Like I was traumatized before I went to Japan. He said he had this like brochure of where we were going, And there was like a typical Japanese kid wearing it like a baseball trainer, you know, like a sweatshirt. And he's like, oh, you have to dress like that. Yeah, you're gonna have to dress like that. And then you're gonna have to shave your head just like this kid. Really, Dad? Yeah, you're gonna have to shave your head like that kid. And you're gonna have to eat fish from the head. You're just gonna like grab the fish and eat it. And I think to him it sounded like a joke. To me, it sounded like, oh God, I have to do this? I guess I was shocked when I didn't, when I didn't have to do it. It wasn't true. Wow, I don't think I've ever thought about that question. What culture shocks did I have going over? I remember when we first arrived, we got to Haneda Airport, and we were heading into the hotel. Someone took our bags, and my dad tried to tip the man, and he got a very angry look as my dad tried to tip him. That was maybe a culture shock, like, oh, you don't have to tip the guy, and he didn't want the tip. And then my father, we got up to the hotel room. He laid on the bed. He said, oh, hey, if you want to go get some stuff from the convenience store downstairs, here's 10 yen. So he gave me 10 yen. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty generous to give me 10 yen. So I went downstairs and I just grabbed what was familiar. I grabbed Hershey's chocolate and a Coke, and I set it up on the counter and proudly pushed my 10 yen across the screen there, across the counter, I should say. Well, I am live streaming, so it's definitely across the screen right now. And the lady said, this is what it sounded like. And I said, excuse me, masen? And she's like, this. Needless to say, 10 yen was not enough to buy those things, because a yen is not a dollar. In fact, it was, when I went to get $1 in Japan, when I first went, it was 270 yen. 270. Just for record keeping, it's like 160 right now. Right? So it's not as good. But that's some culture shock. Just that the money changes. It's a simple thing, but I was 12. I really didn't have other things to know about. Coming back from Japan, my culture shock was there didn't used to be tax in Japan on items. There didn't used to be like what we call, they now have consumption tax is what they call it, but we call it sales tax here in America. So when I came back, I was in the store and I was going to buy a poster, and I think it was at the time like $3, like $2.99. That's crazy to think about how cheap it was. And I had $3, so I was like, I put the $3 up on the counter. It's $3.07, sir. How is it $3.07? It says $2.99. No, sales tax. In Japan, even when they have this sales tax, it's called uchize. Uchize means internal, so it's included in the price. So even if it's 100 yen, 90 yen is the real price, and then 10 yen is added on top to make the 100 yen. So that's my culture shock, I would say. Wasn't ready for that. Excuse me. Can I recommend some good Japanese drama shows, not anime? Carl, that's a good question. I don't know anything recently. I know old ones. I can give you those. And I can give you... Okay, here's some old ones. Classics. One that is super funny is Gokusen. Gokusen. And it might have come from an anime, but it's a typical Japanese teacher drama where a young, beautiful woman sneezes and she's murdered by the... No, that didn't happen. I'm just having a moment where I need to get a tissue and blow my nose. I'm getting an itch on my nose. Oh. So, this girl, this young, beautiful girl, she's a teacher. She's always wanted to be a teacher. Now she's finally got her first class, and they assign her the worst class, Group D Gumi or something like that. And they're the worst. I forget why. I forget the reasoning. But it turns out these tough kids in the class, they think they can bully her. But she was raised in a Yakuza clan. You can see where that's going. Every time they mess with her, she just all of a sudden loses it and messes with them. And then she's got the whole clan to back her up. So that's Gokusen. And Gokusen is a comedy. So it's got a lot of really funny moments to watch. Next one will be GTO, Great Teacher Onizuka. That's also originally an anime, I believe. I don't know if there's been a remake recently, but the old one that I remember, oh man. Oda Yuji, I believe was his name. Oda Yuji. He starred in it. And he's also a teacher in a bad class. Very typical. They try to get him kicked out and stuff like that. But fun one. Recently, this might have been a Korean one. I think, no, that was a Korean one. There's a lot of Korean dramas. I watched more Korean recently probably than Japanese. Oh man, I haven't had Netflix in a couple years. I'm trying to remember what I watched on Netflix recently, but this was an anime, but it was a really good one. It wasn't spazzy. It was Boku dake ga inai machi, the town where only I don't exist. I don't know what it was called in English. That was really fun because it was like the story was anime, but it wasn't that spazzy. Like I don't like those. Those type are too spazzy for me. That was pretty good. I bet other people could probably recommend more. We'll see it in the chat if there's enough people showing up. There isn't a lot of people chatting today. It's still too early in the morning. Oh, I didn't even. Hang on, I'm on the wrong. I gotta switch accounts, guys. This is from the other day. I'm Adventures in Asia account. Uno momento. Come on. This one. There we go. All right. Well, there's 32 people here, so I think some people can recommend. Oh no. Oh no. This thing got stuck. Why does it do this? My stream information window got stuck. I can't move it. Hang on, guys. I close those other things down. Maybe I'm lucky I can fix it. I cannot. Wait a minute. Why is my mouse stuck here? Hang on. Guys, I can't. I've covered everything. All right, I'll try to deal with it. Okay, where are we? Oh, it's called Erased. That's right, Erased. Yeah, that's the one. The Boku dake ga inai machi. Oh my gosh, this name. Seroj Mirz Achanyan Goro Hassan says, followed you for 12 years. Wow. Are you watching me right now? It's crazy. My first ever Japanese teacher right here, guys. Woohoo. Woohoo. 12 years. So that would put you back in 2014. Wow. All my daughters were still home. All two of them. Lucas says, George-san, おかげで、今日入学試験を受けて合格しました。10月に日本に行くつもりです。本当にありがとうございました。You know, can I say something? This is a habit you shouldn't do. It's saying tsumori on things to force future tense. I really only hear foreigners say this. It's like saying, my intentions are to go to Japan is a weird thing to say, right? I intend on going to Japan. You could just say, 10月に日本に行きます. That's what Japanese people would say. They wouldn't use tsumori there. If you showed me this wording and they were saying, what are your thoughts? Do you think a Japanese person said this or a foreigner? The tsumori would be the one thing that would make me think, probably a foreigner. Because they and I don't know if it's an American, but it's probably another country where you have a similar way of making something future tense and you want that same thing in Japanese. So you add that tsumori because it's like in your country you say, I go willingly, or you want something because ikimasu can mean I do go, like mainichi ikimasu, right? I go every day, and you want to make sure it's the future version, so you throw the tsumori on there. You don't have to. It's too much, in my humble opinion. Hang on, I'm gonna try to. It's so irritating that I can't see parts of the screen. So give me a second. I'm gonna kill chat. Oh wait, it wasn't chat that was the problem. I'm so sorry. It was the. I'm gonna switch over to here. Give me a second. I'm really having a struggle with this here. Control panel. And then I gotta get chat back because chat I ruined. No, I can't do it. This is a bug. This is completely a bug because I just learned how to fix it. I just figured out how to fix it. Okay, I fixed it. Give me a second. So close to getting this back in a spot here. Give me a second, guys. Everything's broken. Get chat back in that spot. And then I'll catch up. That's so weird. Hang on, let me try this again. Now I can't dock it anymore. It's broken, guys. Chat. Okay, well, at least it's not where it was. Let's see if this works again. Make this a little bit wider. Okay, we're good again. Just make this. No, stop. Oh my God, this. I can't explain it. My screen is just going. I have this little screen down here. Let's see if this will work. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. All right, we're back. Okay, we're back. Let's see. Anyway, 日本に行くつもりです。I plan on going to Japan. 本当にありがとうございました、先生。夢が現実になりました。That's amazing, Lucas. Great to hear you say that. Or Luca, maybe. Lucas or Luca. Hi, I'm actually learning Japanese from your lessons. It's super fun. Glad to hear that. I apologize if you ever join a live stream and it's me singing or playing one of my songs. I'm just going to apologize because I know that's got to be very awkward. I was watching a girl the other day, something about the bricks and minifigs thing that's been happening with the Reckless Ben YouTuber. And apparently everyone was saying she did a really great breakdown or she found something new out. But it opened up with her watching herself sing. And then she was like, she was doing what I do. Like, she's watching herself, she had a video. I don't have a video of me singing, but it's her song. She's singing it. And then she's like, as a certain part comes up, she's like, boop, 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 boop. It's like, I couldn't keep watching. And I thought, that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I keep doing. I got to stop doing that. But I enjoy it too much. I don't know. I just feel like I want to share it, I enjoy it. Erased, yeah. Erased also has a live action. Oh, there you go. Oh, you know what? I think I saw that. I didn't like it as much as the anime, though. The anime I thought was better. The main actor in GTO is Takashi. No. Oda Yuji. Oh, you're right. You are absolutely right. Oda Yuji was Odoru Daisosa-san, I believe was the name. Odoru Daisosa-san, not just Sosa-san. Double check that, Masayama-san. Odoru Daisosa-san じゃない？久しぶりにMasayama-san見たな。Takeshi Sorimachi. Yeah. GTO. The guy with long hair. Masayama is my generation or closer to it. Nihongo Josu. I like how you spelled Josu wrong. That's insanely funny. Oh my God. Nihongo Josu? That's a joke worthy. Oh man. Getting the Nihongo Josu part wrong, that's genius level 50, honestly. Love your humor. Captain in Caleb 21. I have to thank you with suggesting in every video to speak Japanese. I met with a Japanese group here in Dallas and learned a lot just by practicing. They meet regularly. Yeah, you know, I do say this in every video, or at least I try to, is that when you're looking at a phrase on the screen and I say, what is it? You got to say it. Repeat it and then say the English out loud because you lie to yourself. I don't think it's an actual lie. I think there's like left brain and right brain stuff going on and you go, no, I understand it. Okay. Oh, I'm so happy I understood it. But did you? If you can't put it out of your mouth, you didn't understand it, in my opinion. You know, so if I throw something up on the screen and I go, okay, what is this? You say it. And then you say the English as well. That way you can't lie. You can't trick yourself. Because this is what people do. I swear to God, all the time. I go, okay, here's the answer, guys. Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking. No, it wasn't. You weren't thinking that. You made that up in your head. I know because I taught Japanese live in class. And so many people would very confidently say it wrong. You know, and you guys do too. A lot of times in the comments, I'll see people like writing it wrong. And I'm like, I'm probably not a good teacher because so many comments are just flat out wrong. And it really demotivates me, I ain't gonna lie. So I think that's when I started saying, say it out loud. But yeah. Miffy Whiffy says, hi, I've been going through your book 1 and videos. Should I be memorizing all the words as I go? Or just enough to go on to the next chapter, then memorize them all after learning the chapters? Miffy Whiffy, there's no correct way to do a thing. Everyone is very, very different. Some people are very bothered if they don't know all the words, so they put a lot of effort into it. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna look at these because they're gonna be used again in the lesson. You know, I'm gonna look at these right now. I'm gonna try to memorize them. I'm gonna look at those. I'm gonna cover one side. I'm gonna cover the other side. Or if you're on the website, you can turn on study mode, which does the same thing. It hides all the Japanese or it hides all the English, and then you look and then you can hover to view it. Right? That's on FromZero.com. It's the books, but online, and that's the type of thing I do. So I'll like, do I know it? Do I not? Do I know it? Do I not? Kind of a thing. You can do Anki. That's another thing people do. They put those words inside in an Anki list, and then they study it. But you don't have to know them all. I'm a big fan of like, when you're lost or confused, move on. So it doesn't mean that you can only move on when you're lost and confused. It just means keep moving because the puzzle gets bigger and bigger and you start seeing more of the picture, right? Pointillism. If you watch an early on video, you'll see me not knowing the word pointillism. I still get comments till this day. People going, it's pointillism. It's when you're too close at looking at a painting and you don't there's these paintings made of dots and back in the olden times when people used to paint with their hands. And then as you back away, only when you back away can you understand what you're looking at. That's kind of what Japanese is too. In the very beginning, it's like everything's up in your face and you don't understand it all. It's a lot to grasp. You know, Japanese from Zero takes it slow, but even the slow level of Japanese from Zero might make you feel overwhelmed. So sometimes getting through a little bit more of it, you start seeing the patterns, you go, okay, I get it now. Because every time you look at a Japanese sentence and then the English below it or the English on the right side of it in the book, it's another connection. Just every sentence that you see I would always say, look at that English and look at that Japanese and really try to understand what's happening in each sentence, even the basic sentences. You know, yesterday I was coming into my garage because I forgot my wallet, okay, which is saifu in Japanese. And without thinking, I said, tigap. I thought, that's Korean for wallet. And then I was like, wait a minute, is that even right? I don't know why I know tigap so easily. I mean, I did lose my wallet in Korea once. I'm pretty sure I got pickpocketed. It wasn't really pickpocketed. Let me just, before I get to that sideway. I was at League of Legends. So I have a friend that works at Riot Games. And all of a sudden, I've never played League of Legends, but I was at like the World Championship in the front row. And it was winter, so I had this jacket. And my wallet was in the jacket. And I had it like over the back of the chair. I think that's where it was. And there was these really cute girls behind me. And they disappeared midway through the match, which is very strange because people don't disappear during the finals. Like it was an amazing final. Like the game was insanely fun to watch, even though I never played the game. They were gone. and then my wallet was also gone. So either my wallet dropped before I got there in the taxi, and coincidentally they left, or they saw the opportunity to grab my wallet. It had $900 in it. So I lost my tegap in Korea. But I randomly, by the way, I said it to myself as I was walking into the garage, like, tegap을 잊어버렸어요. tegap을 버렸어요. Like I threw it away or I lost it. 잃어버렸어요. Sorry. 잃어버렸어요. And I said that to myself in the garage because it's a habit that I have to talk to myself, and talking to myself is good. But the repetition that I do with words like tegap over and over again came up in a moment where I wasn't even thinking Korean. So I think knowing the words is a really good thing, but you don't have to know it all before the lesson. But kind of mixing the two things I was saying earlier about looking at the English, looking at the Japanese, saying things in the videos. It's like, if you're learning a thing, repeat it. Because I just watched this video on brains the other day, left brain and right brain. So it's on my head a lot. Your other brain, you have two halves of your brain, and they really are like two different consciousnesses that have different ways of thinking, and that sometimes they don't communicate. So you got to say it sometimes with the other side of your brain to hear it. Okay? That's a theory it's a pet theory I'm working on. I'm not a scientist, but that's a pet theory I'm working on. All right. I need to start selecting what I'm reading so I can. I'm literally surfing Reddit and got a post about Goksen. Yeah, Goksen is really, really a great drama. Okay, this one I read. Okay, it was Miffy Wiffy, that's right. Okay. So should I be memorizing them all or just going through the next chapter and then memorize them all after? Yeah. You're going to see them so many times, you'll eventually get them. What I like to do, like Miffy Wiffy, when my most recent experience is learning Korean, right? The biggest language that I've done is Korean, in terms of how far I got. But I used to, in the very beginning, I was taking a bunch of notes. This is actually coincidentally from the other stream. One of my notebooks that I threw away and I pulled out just for the stream to show something, but this is me just writing random notes for Korean, right? So these are my Korean notes. Bedtown is a Pyeongduri, but heck if I remember that now. Just random notes that I would write for Korea, right? But eventually I stopped writing notes because a word comes up over and over again. So what I do now is I kind of mark it in my head. I go, all right, I'm going to keep that word in my head. I'm going to see if it comes up again. And I might forget it the second or third time, but the fourth or fifth time, it kind of becomes part of my vocabulary, kind of like chegap or saifu, Japanese word for wallet. Skebandeka. You don't even know. Skebandeka. Skebandeka. I don't know the English name for it either. But Skebandeka is probably the first Japanese drama I watched because I was a fan of Asaka Yui. It's actually in one of my songs. I have a song called Japanese Muse where I talk about falling in love with Asaka Yui, who's one of the Sannin Shimai, the three sisters in Skebandeka. She's a Kazama Yui or something like that. Kazama Yui, I think, yeah. Kazama Yui. Seiyu Gakuen or something like that. But basically what Skebandeka is, it's these high school girls that fight crime. And I don't know if it's always the same, but in the one version that I watched with Asaka Yui and Minami no Yoko, who was the other? And there was the one with Saito Yuki. There's one more. Onishiyuka. So Onishiyuka, Minami no Yoko, Saito Yuki, and Asaka Yui are all idols that were part of Skebandeka, okay? But one of them has a yo-yo, that would be Kazama Yui, and she fights with her yo-yo. She's like, she'll like throw it at the criminal, right? Or the person doing the bad thing. And then one has knitting needles, like literal like yarn knitting needles. And the other one has an origami crane that she like a paper crane that she throws. It's probably not paper, it's like steel or something like that. Now, I watched all of that. Absolutely, because I love Asaka Yui. So cute. And they and the three girls, Onishiyuka, Asaka Yui, and the other one, not Minami no Yoko. Oh, yeah, I think it's Minami no Yoko. Yeah, they all three released a single called Remember, which is really taking me back, like 1986 or something like that. It's a long time ago, right when I first got to Japan. And I'm pretty certain I met Saito Yuki before I knew she was famous. I was going to Hokkaido, and I got to Hokkaido, and we were on the train going up to Hakodate from the port where the ferry dropped us off. And they were filming something outside, and the train stopped for because in the country the trains stop for longer times, and it was very, very cold outside, and the girls huddled onto the train during the shoot, and I'm like a foreigner standing there, and I started talking to them, and I asked her for her phone number. I didn't know who she was, but my Japanese was very limited at the time, and I said, "Anata no demo bango wa nan desu ka?" I think that's how the conversation went down, and I got a piece of paper. She wrote Saito Yuki or Yuki Saito in Romaji, and she had her phone number, and I lost it. But I always remembered the name, and then once I realized that had to be what that was, I put that, either my brain manufactured something that wasn't true, and I completely made it up delusionally, or it really did happen, I'm not sure. Okay, but I believe I met Saito Yuki when she was filming Skebandeka. That's my thought, whether that's true or not. I just got the book yesterday, and I've been watching the teaching videos. Thank you. Oh, nice to meet you, 12 Hertz. Crazy that you still meet new people every day. Good morning, George. Oh, ADHD pilot up very early. Masayama-san, yes. Daisosa-san, my mistake, yes. Do you guys see even Japanese people make mistakes? Okay. Masayama-san. Odoru Daisosa-san, also a really good drama show. Oda Yuji's great. Oh, that was unintentional? Yeah, it's supposed to be Jozu with a Z. Or if you're from England, a Zet. Nihongo Josu. Josu. Oh, anata no Nihongo Josu. It's just so funny. I would say it's intentional. I did that as a joke. Captain says, I realized that grammar is way more important than creating sentences. Into creating sentences and remembering words. Yes, there's a thing that I used to always say in the videos, and I still say now if I'm teaching, it's what never happens. Okay, well, actually, no. You know what? I'm going to say the opposite thing. Grammar actually is easier because you hear it so often. It's actually the exact opposite thing. Grammar is more important, but you hear it so much that it's not something you have to worry too much about, honestly. It's words. Because you know what never happens? You never go, この間友達の家に行ったんですけど、で、あそこに、what was that grammar? You mostly go, what was that word? What was that word is the more common thing. You forget a word. Because you only use words in certain situations. But grammar, like the ikitai form, the tai form, you're going to use it all the time in all sorts of situations. Yeah. So even though grammar, I agree, more important, words are just as important. I think I flip back and forth. I mean, you can't say things without grammar. You sound like a caveman if you're just using words. So you need the grammar. But the grammar, you use it so much, it gets more built into your memory. Like there'll be times where I don't know the verb, but I remember the grammar of I know how to conjugate it if I could remember the verb. That's a very common situation for me. Anytime you're struggling with coming up with a solution, just change your perspective and the problem will be sorted out. Yeah. I would have loved to go to a LOL world. Wait, am I missing the word LOL? No. Oh, a world champion of LOL. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it was wasted on me, Violet, because I don't know anything about, I had never even seen, and I have played one match in my entire life of League of Legends. I do not care about that game, as you know. Violet has invited me to play League of Legends, and I didn't want to play it. I said, no, I will not play it. Yeah, so I've been to League of Legends, I've been to Riot Games office in Korea on the top floor. It's really cool. They have like this really cool area where the staff can chill out. You would love working there, Violet. It was an awesome, and they had all these like, all of like the hero, what are they called? Heroes? Are they your heroes? No, I think there's another term for it. Your battler? No, there's another term for it. I think it is hero. Yeah, I think it is hero. But they'll have like these amazing artwork. So cool that you would think they were made by AI. Right now, you would think they were made by AI, but they were drawn by people, like these big paintings. And then you have to tap your special code to get in, and the door opens up to this like amazing office. But he worked insane hours, that guy. His name was Valentine. And funny history, Valentine was my first business partner for this company. We were working together to build Chinese from zero. It was actually one of the first books we were working on. Didn't work out though. Ended up splitting with him and moving on to someone else. You should play League with me. I will not be playing League with you, Violet. I'm not interested in learning another game. And we should stream it. Nope. Masayama-san says, the girl who fight with Needle was Yuma Nakamura. Yes. Yoko Minamino was in Skibandeka 2. Okay, hang on. I'm going to remember. So there's Onishi Yuka, right? There's Nakamura, Yuma, and Asakuri. Yeah, they were together. That's right. Onishi Yuka was actually really cute. Not as cute as Asaka Yui, but she was my second favorite. I think she had a song. It was Suki ni sasete anata no koto. Pretty sure that was one of her songs. Suki ni sasete. Someone check it out. Onishi Yuka. Lianyu says, hello. Joji Sensei, is there a particular reason the kanji in your textbooks are taught in that order? They don't seem to be grouped by radicals, difficulty level, or how commonly they are used. Yes, Lianyu, there is actually a reason why we teach it that way. So, we teach in the same groupings. Okay. Japanese learn the first grade that they learn kanji in 80 kanji. We took that 80 kanji and changed the order to be in groupings, because a lot of Japanese books that teach kanji, they teach it in the order of how it sounds in the like the kunyomi or the onyomi. I think like it'll be like like all, and it's not logical in the way that it teaches it. So we group them up. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 100, I believe, in that first grouping. It's numbers, right? And then it's days of the week, and then we do colors, and then we do things that could be adjectives, stuff like that. Oh. So it's logical groupings. As a matter of fact, book 4, we accidentally didn't do it that way. We did it in the reading way, in the way that they're read. So we have to redo book 4 because of that, like the kanji order. So that's why book 5, when you open up book 5, it has this big section in the front of book 5 called Missing Kanji. And it teaches you the kanji that you should have learned in book 4 if we had taken the grouping of 160-ish kanji. If there's 160 kanji in the second grade second grade that they learn kanji in. And so we split that 80-80 again. But we put it in orders that make sense. But we forgot to in book 4. We just somehow slipped our mind. Weirdly, or I shouldn't say we. That book was before I really was teaming up with a lot of people. And Yukari, my wife who wrote them with me, wasn't thinking of on that level. I did it for 3 and I did it for 5, but somehow missed it for 4. So to answer your question, we teach it in the exact order groupings that they do for each grade. But instead of doing it in an order that didn't make sense, I think it's bad to teach it by radical, because then you have all these similar words coming back to back, these similar kanji back to back, and that's confusing. Or the same thing with the readings. It's like, oh, that's and that one's and that one's and that one's and that one's It's weird, I think. So I would say, let's learn numbers, let's learn colors, let's learn military words, let's learn area, like city and prefecture, and county. Those are all like grouped into one grouping. So that's the difference. Miffy Weeby says, yeah, for sure, it's hard to learn without context. I'm using Anki and Niji or Aoi. I haven't heard of Niji or Aoi. Oh, and I'm sorry. I thought that those were apps you were using. I'm using Anki, and Niji and Aoi is a word I keep forgetting because I struggle to visualize or connect the Romaji to any mnemonic. Mnemonics are good for a bit, but don't try to make everything a mnemonic. You're just adding a bunch of stuff on top of it. Sometimes you can just remember. Here, I'll give you a way to help you with blue, okay? Here's your mnemonic for blue. It's not owie, but it will do owl. So owl is blue in the noun form. Owie is the adjective form. What's Michael Jackson's favorite color? Ow! Oro says, hey, George. I guess I missed some big unfortunate news. It's not really big unfortunate news. I didn't sleep all night because I had an 8 o'clock Vietnamese lesson on italki that I booked. 8 a.m. It was like 8 a.m., which is very early for me. So I actually went to bed early last night, and I couldn't sleep all night. I was watching Better Call Saul all night, out of order, and then rewatching to get the order right. I ripped it from the Blu-ray in the wrong order, okay? And then I got like 30 minutes of sleep, and I woke up, I took a bath and everything. I came down, I set all my lights up. All right, let's go. And then I tested. I even went as far as like, it said, here's your class, and I clicked test my equipment. And I tested my equipment. I recorded a little video to make sure everything was working. And then where's the button to start the class? And that's when I noticed it said, class tomorrow at 8 a.m. That's my big oops. So this is an accidental stream. Didn't need to be here. I'm extremely tired. I have to go to bed after this. I have no energy. This is me without energy, okay?質問があります。日本に行ったことがないけど、ガイドになりたいです。Jojo さん I've never been called Jojo yet. Jojo さんが観光業、働いたことを知ってるからです。Do you have any tips? お願いします。I was thinking about this the other day about becoming a tour guide. Like, is that even still a job? You have to understand, the world is so different now. I don't know if there are tour guides anymore. I don't think I've seen one for a long time. I think now there's, when I was a tour guide, there wasn't cell phones. There wasn't YouTube, TikTok, iTunes, podcasts. People had magazines with them. That's the era we were in. They literally knew nothing. So they would arrive and the tour guide would meet them, a guy like me, and then take them around. It was great. It was awesome. It's where I met my wife. It's how I had tons of girls. What is he talking about? Friends. I dated a lot of girls that were tourists. And one of my I have a song all about it, by the way. I have a song all about it. If we're talking about songs, I wrote a song about it. See, it's always going to devolve into me playing my songs. But so I don't know if you could be a tour guide now. I just don't know. And if you were to be a tour guide, you could still do that, I assume. If you work with a company that does tours, you have to be like a general tour guide. And then you could say, hey, I know Japanese. And then maybe when Japanese tours come in, if that's still a thing, I don't imagine it's not a thing. I just don't have any tour guide friends anymore. So I don't know. Like, you have to understand, my tour guide work was 30 years ago. I was a tour guide 25 years. Let's say 25 years ago. I quit my tour guide job. Okay, this is the sequence of events. I did Amway. Amway was like this multi-level marketing. It's still around, where you talk to people, you get them to sell underneath you, and then they get people to sell underneath them. Whatever Amway, the company, is selling, like soap, shoe polish, stuff like that. And you all get little commissions for it. And as you build a group, you become rich. And I was trying to do that back in the day. And the problem was, I was getting tons of like motivation from Amway. So I would go to these Amway groups and they would talk about, you've got a dream, you've got to build your dream in your head. And they would take you to drive expensive cars, or even a car that you wanted to drive, even though you couldn't afford it. So you could envision this dream. And they would take you on, one time we went on like a yacht, And we would go to houses that we couldn't afford. And the goal was like, this is what you're working for. You're working towards this. And it did its job. I was super motivated. And I bought the Amway motivation tapes. Like there's like music, Diamond Cuts. I've been still searching for the Diamond Cuts CD number 1. Number 2 I was able to buy. Number 1 was the best though. It's like 80s. Living for a future, and then every now and then in the middle of the song, be like, you gotta do this. And when you're getting down, you gotta just put your energy forward. That level of like cult level motivation, but it worked, So I was this tour guide, but I was like, wait a minute, I could do something else with this. Why Amway? And I remember I asked my uplink once, I was like, hey, could I take this? I was so young. I was like, you think I could do these for another business? Like this principle of thinking? It's like, nah, you want to focus on Amway. Like, oh, I started, like the cracks in Amway started happening. I was like, these guys only care about me making money for them. And one of the motivational tapes that I had listened to, or a book that I had read at the time, was, you people need to get out of your comfort zone. You guys are so set in your ways. Every day you do this very safe thing, but you got to get out of your comfort zone. You have to be hungry. You have to be afraid. And that you have to be hungry thing really hit me hard, because I wasn't hungry. I was kicking ass as a tour guide. You have to understand, this is like 1997. I was making $7,000 in a good month, because I was just selling tours like crazy. I was like, I would be on that bus, man, 50 people on the bus from the airport, on the mega bus. And I get them in the lobby of the Caesar's Palace. And I'm like, I'm having jokes the whole way. We're just having fun. They don't have internet. They have no way to book themselves. They don't speak English. Who wants to go to the Grand Canyon? Raise your hand. Everybody. That's $10 a person that I'm getting, right? $500 commission. Like that on a good day, right? So I would sell my tours. I wasn't hungry, but I wanted to be hungry, because I was building, believe it or not, Japanese classes. I had already taken one day off a week to do Japanese classes, and I wanted to do it more. So I went in with this strong motivation in my head, and just knowing I wanted to do something different than what I was doing. And I went to, I think his name was Kimura. Yeah. I went to my president of the company and I said, I want to take a month off. That's what I said. I want to like get my head together. I want to come. I didn't really want to come back in a month, but I needed like a path back if it didn't work. And so I did this all without consulting with my wife, because I was set. I was motivated. I knew what I wanted. I wanted to not be under the control of someone else telling me when I got to come to work, how I can work. Oh, because you have work these days, you can't go with it here, where I can live, what time I go to bed. All of that's decided by my job as a tour guide. So I told him, I'm going to take this month off. I didn't need my wife. I knew what I wanted. And he said, okay. And I grabbed all my stuff, went home to my apartment, the second apartment I ever had with my wife. And I sat on the bed and I just like tapped it. I said, "Chotto kochi oide." And I had her sit down and I said, I quit my job. Shigoto yamemashita. And now you would think in this moment, she might go, doste? What are we gonna do? No, why would you do that? That's not what she did. She said, "Chotto matte." She got up off the bed and came back and handed me $4,000 that she had slowly taken out of my pocket or my wallet over time and built a little nest egg, right? What they call in Japanese, hesokuri. It's the money they put behind their belly button. Hesokuri. $4,000. And she said, "Gambaro." That's why I'm successful. Because I have a wife that lets me cook and trusts me to do things. There's been a couple times where she said no to things, but not those were the right times to say no. Let's just say that. But every other stupid idea I have, like writing a novel, you know, almost done, guys. By the way, I don't know if I showed this to you. This is the this line wouldn't be here when it's done. This light's not bright enough over here, but this is the novel. Anyway, she's been here for me. She's heard me talk through the story of that novel, and never she said, "You're not a novelist, you're a textbook writer. Why would you do that? We only make money with textbooks. That's how you make your money. Just make more videos." Nope. My wife has always been, okay, ganbatte ne. Very supportive. Onaka suiteru? And she makes me food. You know, I bring down, she's a very traditional wife. I bring down my laundry, she does my laundry, you know? And she's smart. But anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. Where was I going with that? Tour guide. Can I be a tour guide was the question. I don't know is the true answer. Why am I starting a run? No, I'm not. Apparently I'm running right now. Let me take this off. I don't know. I don't know what jobs are going to be existing with all this AI stuff. It's definitely getting harder for people. I know very, very qualified children in our Japanese circle, fluent in Japanese, fluent in English, got a master's degree in this or that, and they're having a hard time getting jobs. It's not easy right now. So what can you do? I don't know. Something, anything on your own, and try to throw some darts. Really, you know, this is the only advice I can truly give anybody. Not in regards to tour guiding, but maybe even with tour guiding, you know, throwing darts means putting your hat in the ring, trying something that might seem crazy. So if you want to be a tour guide, go around to the companies that are hiring, not even if they're hiring, find the Japanese tour guide companies, KNT, JTB, HIS, whatever ones still exist, and find their local office and go in and say, Kankouツアーガイドやりたいです. I forgot what they call it. Kankou Jomui? No. There's a word for it. Kankouin? No. I always just said ツアーガイド. But say ツアーガイドになりたいです. 何かありますか? Just try. That's throwing a dart. Is that how small companies, that still works if they're like a local branch, you know? That's how I got every job. But I feel like a boomer saying that because I know that's not how things are done now. You gotta do all these online forms. But I'll tell you right now, my youngest daughter got her job by people that knew her pushing for her to get into the company. It's kind of like you've got to really have that physical presence, because she applied for so many jobs and never even got interviews. So sometimes you just gotta like maybe go to the airport, maybe try to find a tour guide and ask them what company they work for. Actually do a little bit of legwork, do something unconventional. That's my thoughts right now. I don't really know, honestly. I don't know how I'm 53 now. I don't know how the world works. I haven't had to have a job. You have to understand, I quit my job, okay? I quit that tour guide job in 97, and my wife immediately got pregnant, okay? And my daughter was born in 98, so in October of 98. So I'll tell you, I quit that job, and immediately the world delivered to me a challenge. It was like, support a baby now. Oh, you want to quit your job? Yeah, so you got to, I was pretty motivated back then, right? Nonstop, all night. I mean, late night. Even now, when I'm working on something, I'll go all night on it. Not every night, because I'm very much ADHD on things. But when I'm hitting something, I hit hard until it's done. So that's what you need to do, I guess, to survive in this world, is my random ranting thing. How was the watching Better Call Saul? I hope it was fun. Better Call Saul was great, but I've already seen it up to like I think the 4th season. But my problem was it was out of order in my thing, so it made it really difficult to watch. But it's a fantastic show, one of my faves. Okay, I see tour guides every day. Good. I have not been looking. You could be a tour guide at Disneyland. You'd be hilarious. Huh. The closest tour guide you're doing these days is publishing videos on adventures in Asia. True. But I haven't done that in a while even. Anyway, so Amway. I think I said anyway. Amway was so big back in the day. Yeah, and then they changed their name at one point. And then now they're back to calling themselves Amway. Do you believe in a Japanese heaven or American heaven? Oh, man. I'm going to take that question for real and say I definitely believe in the American heaven. That's the only heaven that's ever been in my head. You know, every like representation of a heaven is the American heaven in movies. Yeah, so it's definitely the American heaven. I was talking about this the other day with my dad, you know, because I don't believe in God, and I do believe though that the brain will like in its dying moments throw you the vision that you have of what death is, right? It'll put that on your final vision, you know. And I told my dad, you know, even though I don't believe in God, I'm sure I'll meet Jesus when I die, because that's the only view of heaven I have. Do I believe that Jesus came here and died for our sins? No, I don't. Do I even believe he was real? Maybe. But was he the savior of mankind? I don't think so. What do I know though? I really don't know anything. But the one thing I do know is that's the image of God in my brain, right? It's Jesus and a God. And maybe more recently, because my father's Catholic and he's been telling me a lot of Catholic stuff, maybe there'll be some saints involved in my death. But that's probably what I'll see. My brain will be like, what? I'm like, oh my God. And I'll come back. If I ever come back from that, I'll be like, I saw God, it's real. And then you'll hear me talking about God on all these live streams. Teachings of MLM are helpful on a personal level, but you got to be careful not to fall into the financial pit. Absolutely. I want to know if George has more of a Japanese view towards the supernatural things or American. It's definitely American. I'm American. I grew up American. Okay. My personality is I'm a contrarian. If you become friends with me, you'll notice that when we argue or when we talk, I will flip the conversation the other way. Even if I don't think it sometimes, it's just a thing that I do. I look at it from the other perspective. That's a nice way of saying it. The other way is I'm just always against you. So even though I grew up in Japan and I love Japanese culture, in that same vein of being contrarian, I always wanted to keep being American because and I think this is actually probably why I am a contrarian, is because so much of my humor back then would be saying very inappropriate things to Japanese people that they wouldn't expect. Like Japanese people will say something like, 失礼しました, right? Or, you know, お邪魔しました, like when they come in and leave. And I always thought that was funny because when you directly translate it, like when you leave someone's house, you say, you know, I've interrupted you, right? 邪魔します, right? I will interrupt you, and you leave 邪魔しました, right? I have interrupted you, which is a weird thing to say, right? And then when you leave like a meeting or something like that, you say, 失礼しました, I've been rude. Or when you jump into a meeting, you say, I will be rude. So I always like to go, 失礼しました、お邪魔しました、本当にバカでした、本当にバカです、すいません. I would love to do that because it's like so funny when you really think about it contextually. It's like, oh, I was so rude. I interrupted you. I'm an idiot. I'm so dumb. Like to go that level, Japanese people aren't expecting it, right? So I did that. And I got great feedback from that. Japanese people would always laugh. Or if they'll say something and the expected response would be, yeah, 大丈夫ですよ. Like they'll say like, すいません、お待たせしました, right? They've made you wait. You were waiting for them. And they walk in and they go, お待たせしました. And you're supposed to say, 大丈夫です。いえいえ, right? But I go, 本当だよ。なんで待たせるわけ? Why did you make me wait? And it's funny because no one would do that ever. You know, maybe they do now. Maybe it's a thing, but it's not expected. And because I always got fun reactions from that, I have become a contrarian. That's my theory. Japanese culture messed me up. You like the shirt? The wasabi? I bought this in a supermarket. I think it was like 1,070 yen. Perhaps George wants to say, tenjoin, that's what it was, tenjoin. ありがとう。なんかそういう言葉あったなと思って、tenjoin. Violet says, very much you are a contrarian. Also, the cover of your novel looks solid. You know who made it? You know who made it? Violet made it. And actually, you want to see the new version, which is even better? Hang on. I'll show you the latest version. This is the latest version. Pew. Oh, that didn't work. Pew. This is the latest version. Now the head is isolated, and we've limited the amount of trees. We're still working on this side right here. And then I went ahead and we thickened the font for the logo and added this little line, which I don't know, it somehow really improved it. This is the new book cover once it comes out. Isn't that cool? I think it is. That's Violet. Very talented artist. No, I do not live in Japan right now. I live in Las Vegas. I've been in Las Vegas for 30 years with my wife. I go back every year, though. Every single year I go back. Except for the Corona years. It looks sick, doesn't it, Violet, if you don't say so yourself? Hey, good art you did, Violet. Looks terrific. Yeah, I think it's great. I agree. I'm very fortunate to have made such a talented friend. Violet and I run pretty much identical programming with our ADHD. She's a little bit more manic than me, I will have to agree. I'm a little bit more, like, if there's a midline of, like, ADHD, I'm, like, over here and she's, like, over there. But we're very close to each other in programming. Masayama-san, oyasumi. Good night. Alexa, what time is it in Japan?
In Japan, it's 1:13 a.m.
Oh, yeah. Masayama-san probably has work tomorrow. How to hear the I Love Japanese Girl songs? Well, haha. It's very hard to convince me to play my songs for you. Very hard. Let me just find it for you. I mean, it is coming to that time of the stream where I think we're getting near the end. It's only been an hour, but like I said, I was only here to do a quick lesson. I didn't think I was going to be here. Give me a second. Now, actually, this song has my history of going to Japan and learning Japanese. So it's kind of relevant to the history that we talked about here today. So this song is called I Love Japanese Girls. Let me see if I can get it to play in the right window. Move it over here. All right, you ready? Here we go. I love Japanese girls. Yes, I do.
Damn straight I do.
I love Japanese girls.
You
bet I do.
Hell yes I do.
Ooh. When I was 12 years old, my dad took me to Japan. My life changed a lot, and I became a man. On the airplane there, I met a beautiful girl. She was the stewardess, but she rocked my world. A perfect specimen, like a Kokeshi doll. From the era of Meiji, towering 6 feet tall. She served me well, bringing tea and chips. I wasn't really hungry, I just stared at her hips. I love Japanese girls. I know I do.
I do.
You love Japanese girls. Of course you do.
Why wouldn't you?
僕はアメリカ人と付き合ったことがない。正直付き合う気全くない。日本人と付き合ってから良さが分かったんだよ。いい匂いもするし、髪も長いし、超可愛いよ。 First the stewardess, then the girl in the store. Each Japanese girl I saw made me love them more. Their meticulous motions and soft polite voices. I forgot all other girls. There were no other choices. We love Japanese girls. Yes, we do.
It's so true.
I love Japanese girls. You should too.
Now why don't you?
アメリカ人の友達、誰も分かってくれないんだよ。なんでそんなに日本の子が好きかって聞くんだよ。変な質問するんじゃねえよ。本当に信じられない。お前は日本人と付き合ったことあるのかい？お前は日本人と付き合ったことあるのかい？ We love Japanese girls. Why don't you?
Why don't you?
I love Japanese girls. Yes, I do.
Till my face is blue.
If you try hard, you will too. What do you mean, try hard? Japanese girls are awesome. You just gotta look at one, and then you're gonna want one. You love Japanese girls. Yes, you do.
We all do.
You love Japanese girls. And they love you.
Trust me, it's true.
Don't we all wish Japanese girls loved us as much as we love them? One of these days, I'll have my own Japanese girl, and everything will be right with the world.
There. It's that easy. It's that easy to get a song, guys. Let me know when you next visit Japan. Might treat you to a cup of miso soup. I would not want a cup of treads soup. Miso is like the tire miso. I think you mean miso. Eric, are you Mexican or Spanish speaking and you think it's so because of the Z? No, it's miso, M-I-S-O. But I appreciate that. I do like miso soup as long as there's no fish in it. And by the way, yes, you're more manic. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. You're more manic. You're a little bit over the crazy. Like you're a little bit. You go the extra distance a little bit further than even me. That's why I'm surprised you're not rich at this point. Oro says, I remember you were saying about moving to Japan. I was partially hoping it would happen, but I guess things have improved in the US. Oh yes, our great President Trump has really made America so amazing. The most amazing country where, man, I'll tell you what, egg prices are down. Everything is just so much more reasonably priced now. Gasoline. I'll tell you, my van, this is amazing. This is actually, I'm going to actually say something really amazing, okay? My van used to only hold $40 worth of gasoline. Now, I don't know how it happened. Now it holds like $80 worth of gasoline. It's insane. It's so amazing. Trump was able to double, I think that's doubling my fuel economy from $40 to $80. It's insane. Hello, George. I know you're constantly busy with multiple projects, but did you ever go any further in the possibility of writing books directly in line with the JLPT? I've thought about it, yeah. You know, if I'm being honest, writing Japanese textbooks, done that. But I do have JLPT from zero, maybe one of these days, but I'd probably write, I don't know. I've talked about it. I've talked about Japanese, like just jumping into book like JLPT 3. Or do I just do Japanese from zero book 6 and label it N3? I don't know. But it's not high priority, honestly. Oops. Sorry about that. Did not mean to cut out of there. Can we hear the Swahili song? Only because you asked for it, Violet, I'm not going to do it. Okay, because I know you're a friend and you know I want to play the Swahili song. That's why you said it. And so you're just enabling me, okay? Miso, yes. Basim, Al, Mamari, konnichiwa, Georgie-san. Ichiban Nihongo sensei. It's funny. I played the music, right? And the people watching the video, it just like dropped. It's dropped. And now that the song's done, it's come right back up. I'm telling you, it's off-putting if you're learning Japanese from somebody and then you come to their stream and there's a song playing. Especially if it's about Swahili, you know, or Korean or another language that you're not here for. Well, things have certainly died down. Basim was the last message. It's been 2 minutes, according to my clock, since someone has sent anything. Maybe it's time to quit the stream. Maybe it's time to quit the stream. Violet says, I just noticed your chat on screen is too low and we can't see the messages. Oh. Thank you. See, that's where you're more manic than me. I didn't even notice that. Oh, no, I did it again. Pop out, pop out. There. There you go. Whoa, put it right there. How about that? How about that? How about that? Okay, Sero says, I've heard it's important to have good socks in Japan. Yes. Yes. It's so embarrassing when you have a hole. Definitely need good socks. Luckily, they're cheap. And you can buy them in any convenience store. They're not too expensive. Hi, George. Your books are great, and I appreciate what you've taught me. Naraizu Shirazu is really tripping me up. Okay, let me say this, because that was tripping me up too. Don't look at Japanese proverbs to try to get grammar out of them. Okay? It means, I'm pretty sure that means if you, and it's not naraiza, it's probably naraizu. Naraizu shirazu. Like without becoming, you can't know, or something like that. It's probably, I never heard that one, but it's something like that. There is a zoo grammar, like there's a phrase, tabezu, kuwazu girai, or tabezu girai, theoretically, right? Means without eating it, you dislike it. It's a person that dislikes food without even trying it. And ku means to eat. It's the vulgar way of saying eat. Kuwazu means without eating, coming from that verb ku. So kuwazu girai coming from kirai. Kuwazu girai means someone who dislikes something without trying it. Jumbo, you speak Swahili too? You guys are gonna make me play the Swahili song. Habari, Eric. I'm not intending to learn any Swahili, but I wrote this, I made this album. It started out as a joke, and then it became like a project for me that I really care about. It's called Polyglot Thirst, and it's a man who learns languages and falls in love with the girls, or is it the other way around? He falls in love with the girl and then he learns the language because he loves the girl. For all of these variety of languages. Okay, so it starts out with Japanese, goes to Korean, Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai, German, Mexican, and then it went to like outer space to an alien. Then it came back to Filipina, and I realized I didn't have any black representation. You had white with Germany, you had brown with like Mexico and Philippines, and I had Asian, right? I don't have India or whatnot, but I should probably got to do India because of the population. I probably got to do India, but I didn't have black. So I researched and decided it would be cool to do a song on Tanzania and Swahili. So I wrote a song about me learning Swahili, and so I had to learn Swahili for the song. I have a song, a V1 version of it, that's pretty fun, I think. Works for my vocal range, and I do sing Swahili in it. I do have a mistake in there. I say East Africa when I meant to say West, so it's flipped around in the lyrics. You'll see it. I'll eventually play it. If you know Swahili, you'll see that I made a mistake. All right, you know what? I'm going to lose people, but I'll play it now. I'll wait for some more comments to build up. Here we go. This is called Feelies for Swahili.
I learned Japanese in the land of rice. I know Atlantic from the land of ice. I learned French in Guyana, Yoruba in Nigeria, Spanish in Mexico, Russian in Siberia. Yeah! Let's go. I've had 1,000 exotic language explorations. All that was left was the Western African nations. There was Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, and Kenya. The choice was easy. I'm a man. I couldn't resist the beauties of Tanzania. Rangi ya ngozi haijalishi, lakini eneo linajalisha. Nimewahi kwenda mashariki, lakini sijawahi kwenda Afrika Magharibi. My Swahili was weak, my desire imara. Hired a teacher from Kigamboni, the center of Tanzania. Everything about her was chameleon. I was on my best to be. I was her salt, she was my pepper. I lost control of my tamanania. My tamanania. Yeah, she was dedicated to my goals, an amazing teacher. Our hearts were meant to be together. Eventually, I'd have to reach her. We met morning, noon, and night. I was enchanted by her smile. I was living on cloud 9. Then I got interrupted by that motherfucker Kyle. Habari George, I'm amazed you came so far, Karibu. Are you with your family or did you leave them in Malibu? Oh yeah, that's right, you need women for motivation. Don't you know how to learn without female stimulation? Habari to you as well, Kyle. How do you know Swahili? You're quite the talker. How do you always find me? It seems like you're quite the stalker. We all learn different. Swahili's totemo hard. Please niache peke yangu. Go back to German. Please stop being such a blowhard. Mungu wangu. My Swahili was weak, my desire imara. Hired a teacher for Kigamboni, the center of Tanzania. I tell you, she was chameleon. I was on my best to be. I was her salt, she was my pepper. I lost control of my tamanania. Woo, yeah. I was finally alone with my teacher named Tattoo. Something was wrong, she was crying. There was nothing I could do. Between the tears she spoke, saying, "You have a family? How could you? You're just like my two brothers. There's no way for us. I'm through with you." The love spell was broken, but so was my tattoo's heart. She was just a token of my plan. My only choice was to depart. I felt so bad again, I let my heart get in the way. I got one thing to say to you, Tattoo. Samahani sana, tafadhali nisamehe. My Swahili was strong, now my morals were weak. I need to stop this vicious circle. I need to turn over a new leaf. I hurt the beautiful girl with my desire to learn. I hope one day Tattoo will forgive me on the day when I return. On the day when I return. When I return. When I return.
Woo! All right. I do have to re-record parts of that, but I do like that song. I did look up Tanzania, though. I looked it up on, I thought, well, now that I've made a song about it, I probably should go to Tanzania. But there's actually a warning from the State Department saying it's too dangerous to go, so you shouldn't go. So apparently I can't go. Maybe Kenya will be better. but I specifically chose Tanzania, and now I want to go to Kigamboni. I actually have a teacher lined up in Italki, in my favorites, from Tanzania, but not from Kigamboni, and that's what's stopping me from learning Swahili. I need a Kigamboni so I can play the song for them, and they can get, they can laugh at it. That's what I want. Is someone here actually knows Swahili? Is that what's happening? Do you know it, Eric? Victor says, I'm glad I heard the story about you and your wife keeping your own money stored. I wish I had a partner like that. Yeah, my wife, that was not because that wasn't like a master plan. She didn't trust me. I wasn't very stable when we first met. Boom Pro says, don't know about it. Maybe it would or might be possible for. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Are you talking about the zoo thing? I don't know the Swahili song, and my curiosity grows with each mention. Well, now you've seen it. We also have Filipino. We have a combined Thai and Vietnamese song, which I think it's my least favorite song. I don't know. It's a little bit embarrassing to me. A little bit. I don't know. I did make that song. Originally it was about Vietnamese girls, and then midway through I said, I should put the Thai girls in specially, and I added that. So I think that's kind of fun. But man, you must be gifted. I speak Swahili, French, Tagalog, Japanese, and a little Hindi. I think you might be the one that's gifted if you speak all those languages, not me. I might be a little bit more gifted than your average person, but that's just because I put a lot of time into it. Noni Fuji says, so if anything feels like a set proverb, I should just engage with it individually. Yeah. Because they're proverbs, Think about let's think about it. I don't know if it's true. Let me think about it. English proverbs. Someone give me an English proverb. Let's take one from the Bible. Do unto others as, how does that go? Hang on. We're gonna phone a friend. Hang on, give me a second. We're gonna phone a friend. You think I'm phoning Violet, but that's not my friend. We're gonna chat GPT this one. Hello? Oh.
Hey there. What's on your mind today?
Hey, what's that proverb about do unto others or whatever?
You're thinking of the golden rule. It goes something like, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Basically, treat people the way you'd want to be treated. Timeless advice.
Yeah, now I want you to think about that. When do we say unto? We don't. That's a common phrase, right? That we say in that proverb, but we don't talk like that. Why would you do that when I have not done it unto you? It's an old proverb, right? Can you give me another few, give me two more famous English language proverbs?
Sure. One classic is a stitch in time saves 9, which means addressing a small problem early prevents it from growing into a bigger one. Another famous one is you can't have your cake and eat it too, meaning you can't enjoy two incompatible benefits at the same time.
I want you to imagine you're meeting somebody and you're just saying random proverbs, right? There was no weird words in those. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I feel like if someone said that, I would think, what would I think? If I saw it in a drama, I would think, oh, that's just cheesy dialogue they wrote in there. I don't know if I like it, I don't know. I feel like we gotta be wary about that. All right, we'll let her stand down. Thank you for your help, though, ChatGPT. Tokyo Acid, hi, George. I haven't caught a stream in forever, but I wanted to say hi and thank you. Since last year, I went to Seoul and went to Suwon COEX Mall based on one of your videos, and it was awesome. Oh, wow. Yeah, the COEX Mall is insane. Is that Suwon, though? Why did I never know that? I always thought that was Samsung. Or maybe there's one in Suwon. and Samsung exit. Huh. I did not know that. I'm glad that you were excited that I mentioned Siberia. I just needed to rhyme with Nigeria, and they happened to work. Yes, you know, deeper and down, I did say the MF word in that song, and I might have to remove it because every time I play it on the stream, I cringe when it comes up. It was very funny when I wrote the lyric, when I first sang it, I thought this is great. Because at first I had my petty friend Kyle, and it didn't have the punch that I wanted. Tamanania, yes. Hey George, Gohan says, hey George, your book Kanji from Zero, can you please tell me all about it? Because I own a kanji book that has been nothing but like a dictionary. Yes, yes, that is so many kanji books. That is not what our book is. Kanji from Zero talks a lot about the linking of actual concepts in Japanese. But okay, I'm sorry, I was just rereading your comment. Your book, Kanji from Zero, can you please tell me about it? Well, I can't. I don't have a quick copy of it, apparently, nearby. But we teach you kanji in groups, and then we have a section called Kanji Usage, which talks about ways that this kanji links to verbs or other parts of Japanese, and we do a bunch of word groupings and things like that. It's much more cultural. I've said this before. The closest thing to a Japanese from Zero book 6 is Kanji from Zero book 2, because it's the first book that gets out of that. Kanji from Zero book 1 is all the kanji taught in Japanese from Zero book 3, 4, and 5, plus some other stuff. But Kanji from Zero book 2 is 100% never been taught things, and because we don't hold back on the example sentences because it's just teaching kanji. It's not like a book where we have to be wary or care about your grammar. We're just trying to show you how the kanji is used. So you can learn a lot more interesting sentences probably in that book. And we teach a lot of, sometimes we actually teach some grammatical kanji related things. Love your From Zero books. I currently own one, and we'll get the others when I'm done. Yeah, new covers just came out. This is the Spanish book showing the new style of cover. This is the new logo. Here's the current. Well, it's not current anymore. This is the previous cover, but it's, yeah. Let me show you. It just went up on, I think we're probably, hopefully, all the books going out now are that version. Sometimes an older copy gets in there. It's not from us, it's from Amazon, so I can't control it. So these are the new covers here. As you can see. All new covers with the new logos. Where's book 4? Book 4 is in here somewhere. There it is. Hey, and they arrive before Father's Day. If you're a father, what a great gift. And then Spanish is in here too. Hang on, I wanted to see something. I like to see like these things here. Yeah, I'm waiting for this to get updated. This is the old version. We do have new panels for this coming up pretty soon. All right, and then somewhere in here we should see Spanish. No, let's see here. There it is. Spanish from Zero. Same artist. These are the old covers. Kanji does not have the new cover yet. That'll be coming soon. It is not dangerous, bro. We visit Tanzania every year, especially Zanzibar. Okay, there is a warning from the State Department saying increased terrorism and crime in Tanzania. I didn't even think that could just be Trump being racist, but you know, why would I think that? Trump's such a great president. I would never think that. Noni Fuji says, yes, I was. It seems to be something like maybe not. Just like the speaker is not sure. So the naraizu, shirazu, what they're talking about, it's extremely formal to the lead. I've never heard it before, so. Thanks for the support. Guan says, I hope there is a French from Zero series. You know, I probably could show you the temporary version of that book that I made a cover for. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, there's zero chance right now of a French from Zero. I don't have anyone that can write it. And even if I did find someone, I don't have the ability to work with them on it. Which is currently how it works. I'm working on Spanish from Zero Book 2 before that. This isn't looking good. It's such an old... I did have a contract for French from Zero with a girl once, but she never delivered. Oh, my stream is chopping up here. Don't pull all eggs in one basket. It's don't put. George, I'm trying to find the song you made for the verb conjugation. It's is it only in one of the early lessons? The utsurute one? Utsurute bumununde kuide guide. It might be in... I think it's the Tan's Ta song. Give me a second. 探しておくよ. I believe it's the past tense forms. Hang on, let's go here. That was a fun video. Here we go.
Song Silver Bells. So it goes like this. Utsuruta bumununda kuita guita. Sushita are the past tense ta forms. One more time. Utsuruta bumununda kuida. Sorry. Kuita guida. Sushita are the past tense ta forms. Since I screwed up, we'll do it one more time. Together now. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Utsuruta bumununda kuita guida. Sushita are the past tense ta forms.
Okay, now I will say this. There's another version of that. I've done it 3 times in video. Let's find the other 2 times. The other one is course 3 videos. Te form. I like how that video started right at that song exactly. That was good timing. Oh, it's definitely before this. Te form must be really early on. Command form. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Japanese from Zero. I noticed that sometimes when these videos starts, my voice is very loud. So I'm going to try to ramp up into my normal loud voice today. Today is the Getsuka Sui Moku Kin Do.
I like how
By the
people
way,
are skipping over the intro.
that's how Japanese shorten the days of the week. Like, I don't think we do this thing. All right. So, ku goes to ite and gu goes to ide. Right? And we're going to work through it in a second. You'll see what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm doing right now, you kind of messed up because we did this exact same thing before in course 2, and you should know it. All right. And su becomes ste. These are the te and ta forms. Now, we did a song, and the actual song is this. It's actually are the te and ta forms because it encompasses both. But in the first lesson where we did this, we really just did the one song. But let's do the full song right now. Utsurute bumununde kuite guide sushite are the te and ta forms. Now the only difference is the ta forms are ta and da, and the te forms are te and de. See that? Now we have this one song. If you just remember this song, you're gonna basically 99% of the time figure out how that form works. Because this is the hardest verb form because there's so much variation. All right, so here's our rules. We have them up here on the top, and now let's convert some verbs. Now work with me. I'm going to show you the verb. There's going to be a little.
All right, so there's one more time, much more recently. I think it's in book 4, and it was right around Christmas, relatively recently. There's a lot of videos in this. Holy moly. I'm assuming it's this one.
Hey everybody, it's George Trombley, and this is Japanese from Zero, and we are going to continue going through Japanese from Zero, book 4. We're going to be talking about a grammar point today that is going to be very interesting for you. All right, this is our new grammar for today, but before we do that, we need to do a little bit of recollection of what we need to make this work. We're going to need to use the ta form. So I want to do a little bit of a quiz. Do you guys remember this? Way back, I believe in videos in book 3 and videos in book 2, we talked about ta form and te form and how they use this pattern. If it ends in an u, a tsu, or a ru, it goes to ta, little tsu and a ta. You just replace the u, the tsu, or the ru to a ta. And if it ends in a bu, mu, or nu, we just switch the bu, mu, or nu into unda to say past tense informal. Do you guys remember that? There was a song, it was like, it goes to like Silver Bells. It was like, utsurute bumununde. Remember that? Well, I was going to remake it for today, but it turns out it's got copyright issues, so I can't. So I've made a new song using the royalty-free Silent Night. Okay, guys, let me get my hat on. Ready? This is the Te and Ta song. Utsurute bumununde kuite uide sushite are command request forms. Ta tsutate yobu yonde kasukashite yo ikuite is special. Utsuruta bumununda kuita guida sushita are informal past tense. Kaukata yomu yonda nugu nuidayo. This was the Te and Ta song. Yes, it was. I hope you enjoyed that.
I do remember though, there's a bloopers at the end of this because I think I spilled water. Here we go. Let's see. It's kind of funny, so might as well watch it. Originating from these books. So if you have the books, that should be enough. And you know what? To be frank, I teach you everything in the videos as well. Maybe not everything, but I teach you most of it. I don't hide anything. We're not gatekeeping. So enjoy. I'll see you on the next Japanese from Zero. Bye-bye. Tsushita is past tense fudging form. Where did I... My notes. Second verse right here. Oh my God. That's why no drink except on the right side, on the left side, not the right side. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh man, those were the things. That's when my office was in the other room. I swear to God, you don't know it, but I have paper towels right up here for this exact situation that happens all the time. I'm constantly spilling drinks. All right, we've lost a lot of people with the singing again. Let's see here. I'm gonna say catch up. Give us your best Trump impression. You know, my best Trump impression was a video. I'm gonna find it. I think it was. When was it? What video was that? When was that? Was that? I have a couple Trump videos on the channel. I actually had a wig and everything. I think it's this. It might. Let me see. Might be this one.
You guys ready?
Oh, okay. Hang on.
For a great video? The greatest video. Merely days away from the election, I have chosen to show you what Japanese people think of me. And you will find out that they love me. In this unedited raw video shot in Japan, you'll find out that the fake news has not shown you what Japan thinks of me. And you can see in this video that that's the truth. The Japanese people absolutely love me.
一つの言葉で、トランプ大統領といえば何を思い浮かびますか？
トランプ大統領、
はい、トランプ大統領。
偉大な人。
偉大な人。はい、こちらは。正直でいいですよ。
面白い。
面白い。
3つの言葉でトランプを説明してください。
いいね。3つの言葉で。大統領。
ツイッター。ツイッター。あと何？あと、わかんねえ。全然わかんねえ。
ツイッターが一番だよね。でもね。女性遊び？
女遊び。
そういう話は思い浮かばない？
全然思い浮かばない。
怒る。いいね。次は？
ラスト。金。
なるほど。金持ちだもんね。一つの言葉でトランプを説明してください。トランプ大統領。
なんだろう。わかんない。全然わかんない。
わかんない？
おじいさん。
はい。一言葉でトランプを説明してください。トランプ大統領。一言葉で。
金髪。
金髪。トランプを一言葉で説明してください。一言葉。
顔出るトランプ。
ドナルド・トランプ、ごめんなさい。
ああ、大統領。
いいね。今のいいね。いいね。
ああ、なるほど。
はい、いける。もう今アメリカ人みんな大爆笑してます。じゃあドナルド・トランプを一言葉で。
一言で。
一言。パッと思いついた印象。悪いことでもいいことでもいいです。
金。
じゃあクレイジー。正解です。正解。トランプ大統領を一つの言葉で言えば。
漢字ですか？
いや、漢字じゃなくてもいいです。
日本語で。
自分のなんていうの、気持ち。
自己中。
いいですね。
わがまま。
トランプ大統領を一言葉で言えば何でしょうか？
大富豪。大富豪。
トランプ大統領は、
イメージ。
わがままのイメージある。
わがまま。あとは？
金持ち。
一つの言葉で、トランプ大統領といえば？
アメリカ金髪。
トランプ大統領。はい。
日本語で。
はい。
マイペース。
いいですね。はい。こちらは？
難しいな。自分勝手。
ちょっと渡りますか？All right. You asked for it. We got it. We got a whole library of videos, guys.
I have one of the greatest libraries of videos that could teach you Japanese. Japanese is the greatest language that's ever been invented, and I am the greatest speaker of Japanese ever born.
Oh my God, George, of the past with the tan chart wearing a green shirt. Wearing the third book, which is green, and current George is wearing green. Hey, crazy. Oh, wait, was I wearing the same shirt? I didn't even realize. That's awesome. I learned it with the Silver Bells one. Okay. Did that keyboard survive? It did. It's in my closet right now, but I'm using this one now. This very simple $20 or so cherry keyboard. I have a white one too, but black one's better. The white one gets dirty too much, and I don't know. I don't want to have to clean it all the time. Like, I had a white mouse for a while, and it just kept getting dirty, so I literally bought a new one that was black. And then I bought this the other day. This is these are like $69, but I got it for $1.60 at Goodwill, and it's my favorite, one of my favorite mouse so far. I just like how it feels. Any stories from when you were a translator? Oh my God, there's a million. I remember hearing you talk about it once before and saying it was very mentally exhausting. It is. It's the most mentally exhausting thing you can imagine. I don't think I've ever done anything as mentally exhausting as interpreting. Primarily because normally you can zone out in your head and think about something else when someone's talking. But have you ever listened to somebody so intent? Like, every word is infiltrating your brain, and then you have to be paying so much attention that you can convert it into Japanese and say their sentence while they're talking as you're listening and translating at the same time. And in order to keep the flow, you have to be about only a half a sentence away. I made a video, I can't show it to you because it keeps getting copyright stricken, but it's up on Polyglot George. It's showing you what interpreting is like without interpreting. Actually, you can do it right now. You want to know what interpreting is like? Do it right now. From this point forward, for 20 minutes, everything that I say, shadow me. Say exactly how I say it in the tone that I say it. Got it? Okay. for 20 minutes. Does that mean I got to go another 20 minutes? Probably. Okay. And the thing is, you'll find out that even after a few minutes, it's extremely exhausting just to even repeat what I'm saying, because you have to pay full attention to what I'm saying. Then start translating it into Japanese and make the other person understand what you're saying. And stay maybe 1 or 2 sentences. I try to keep a half a sentence ahead only, or behind only, so that you're in the same motion with that person, right? It's very difficult. Now, when I interpreted at Varian Medical, they're now bought by Siemens, so they're not Varian anymore, but I was doing 8-hour days. So we would do like a 1-hour class, take a quick break, do another hour or so class, take another break. And the teachers keep changing, but I'm the same interpreter. So I'm like slowly losing my mind. And sometimes the sessions would go really long. Like I had just one particular memory, which I've probably talked about before if you've been around, but they were talking about this thing called the multi-leaf collimator, the MLC. And what this device does is it's got these tungsten leaves made out of tungsten metal, right? And there's a beam of radiation that comes through the accelerator. Okay, keep in mind, I'm translating all of that into Japanese, okay? This beam of electrons is accelerated to the speed of light, 99.9% of the speed of light. It's riding on a wave of RF energy that accelerates it to the speed of light, and then it slams into a tungsten target and turns it into photons, okay? And that's how they treat cancer. But one mode of treatment is without the target, and it goes, the electron beam is open fully, and it's controlled into the shape of the tumor, okay? And by the way, a lot of people right now that we're trying the translation technique don't know how to say tumor in Japanese. Shuyo. But you didn't know that, but now you do. Anyway, and these leaves match the shape, like this. Like they match the shape of the tumor, and they'll create like this area for the beam to go through. And there was a guy explaining all of the revisions of this machine over time, and not even just the MLC itself, like the covers for it. That's what it was. It was not even like interesting, okay? And he was showing you how to, because this is like people that repair the machine. They're repairmen for these linear accelerators. And I think we were going on for like easily an hour and 20 minutes, and my brain started frying. I couldn't communicate anymore. All the energy in my brain had been sucked out. And I said, I'm sorry. I swear to God, that's what it was. I was like, I really need a break. I couldn't think. I couldn't say my own words, because for an hour and almost a half, I had been in someone else's mind. Okay? And he says, don't worry, I only got like about 30 minutes left. You can handle it. And I go. And then he's like, okay, now you take the screw. And I could not translate screw to neji. It's neji. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. My brain, and I said, I'm sorry. I'm done. You'll have to work without me for a bit. I'm mentally done. And he stopped. And in those interpreting classes, this would be me in the break. I would say, don't talk to me. Don't anyone talk to me. Shaberanai kudasai. And I would just like crash on the desk. And I would play K-pop. The song I would always play in that particular era was Secret, Magic, a song called Magic by a group called Secret. Oh, such a good song. And it would just like refresh my brain. 10 minutes straight napping to K-pop blaring in my ears. Because if I didn't put on headphones with music, everyone else is talking. And my brain cannot stop interpreting. It just cannot. It wants to, because it's been doing it and habitually, and it can't stop. And matter of fact, you know, in the days when I would do interpreting, I'd go to home and I would just want to crash. But any dream that would start, the customers would be there, and I'd be interpreting in my dream, and I couldn't stop. And I remember I used to have to like kill the people in my dream. I'd physically have to take a knife and stab them so they were dead in my dream. That's probably going to be a horror book that I write one day, The Interpreter. No, that's already a movie. But I remember one time I had to. I told the guy the next day, I killed you in my dream yesterday, by the way. No. I wasn't dreaming yet. I physically chose to kill you because you would not shut up in my dream. He laughed. He was a fun guy. A guy named Hirota. Love that guy. But, I'd be so mentally drained after these interpreting gigs. I come out and I really could not do anything because if I listened to anything like sad on the radio, I just start crying. Anything would just trigger me. I remember I'd often like go grab like a chocolate shake and just suck it until I got home, just like drink that shake because my brain was like dying for some chemical in it, it needed energy. And then I was always, those were the worst days with my daughters. I would yell at them because I just had no emotional control. All day long, I'm just like, someone else is in my head and I have no control over what I'm saying. My brain is a machine. And I looked it up back in the day, and simultaneous interpreting is more intense on the brain than an actual brain surgeon doing brain surgery. There's more focus going on in the brain then. And they said it's like 18 cognitive skills being used all at once. And I think they had like scans of a brain, and the brain is just like on fire. And I swear to God, my brain, depending on the session, I could feel it pumping. It's like, I don't get that in normal life. That is a very rare situation, just going that hard on using your brain. And always those lead to extreme nightmares for me, like really hardcore nightmares, like insane nightmares. So it's not a job that I ever looked forward to. Like when I was in the middle of it, I always loved it. It's such a challenge. It's like, let's go. What do we want to talk about? The craziest thing ever that I don't know any of the words for? Let's do it. I interpreted for Adobe and Intel in the same conference, and that was the most intense interpreting I've ever done, because normally all my experience with simultaneous interpreting, I was still in control. I could stop them, and I knew the people that I was interpreting for. I could say, ちょっともう一回言ってください。これですか? And I could clarify. There's a lot of clarification. But this was me at Adobe. I'm just like listening and translating, and I have zero context of what to talk. I can't ask, I can't stop, and I got to keep going. And to make it worse, I was with another interpreter. They always pair you off in those convention interpreting, and the guy, he was Japanese, and I started. So we agreed to tap out. You tap out at like 20 or 30 minutes, depending on where you feel it's a good point. So the other guy is there, and you tap him initially to say, hey, get ready. And because what they do is they have to mentally start tuning in now. Because normally you're just sitting there, you're like on your phone or whatever, right? And now he's like, okay, okay. And so I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I tap him, and I'm still going. I'm looking for him. And I'm getting ready, and I cue him, and he's supposed to take off. I switch my mic over to him. I'm still listening though, and this man does not start interpreting. And in this split second, I've got to make the decision. I'm still buffering, so I switch back and I go. And I went for another 40 minutes. This man could not switch. He was not able to interpret. I don't know if he lied his way in there, or he thought it was going to be one of those jobs where you're like consecutive interpreting, where you're walking around with people. That's way easier. Because you'd be like, oh, すいません、これはいくらするか聞いてくださいよ. He would like to know how much this cost. It's so easy. That interpreting is like nothing. This one, insane. So in the break, I called the agency and I said, hey, this guy flubbed. So I don't know what you want me to do. I do these type of long interpretings at the medical place, so I don't need the partner. It's, oh, we'll give you a bonus, thank you so much. And they sent him home. And I did the rest of the day. And you want to know what sucks? They never paid me. That company didn't pay any of their interpreters for that whole Comdex was the name of the event. They didn't pay anybody. They ran away with the money. And that was one of my best jobs. And I wrote a big negative review of them on one of those websites. Eventually everyone got paid but me because she was so angry at me for writing that review. And I sent demand letter after demand. It was like $2,000. It wasn't a ton. It was like for like a couple days of work. And I just sent letter after letter, never got it. And then I would go on their Facebook and say, these people steal services. I'm like the reckless Ben of the time, I guess, but I didn't make videos. But eventually they just blocked every account I had and I never got my money from them. Sad story. But yeah, interpreting is rough. To answer your question. If that was your question. I felt like I was hit by a bus called Adventures in Asia right now with the Trump video. That was an Adventures in Asia clip for sure. That was in Sapporo. And it was so cold. And I got to tell you what, before every person, I was so nervous. I wanted to make a video just of me being nervous. It was like, oh, Mike, I can't do it, Mike. Okay, these next people. No, these next ones. Those people look mean. Let's go. The cute girls over there. Let's go. It was rough. I don't know enough words to copy what you say. I mean, even in English, Violet, not Japanese. Do you have an English from Zero book designed for Japanese learners? No, I do not. I wrote one, 4 lessons or so I have from 20 some years ago. There was a group of students that were Japanese and they asked if I could make a class for them and I did. They quit after the 4th lesson, so I don't think they liked my class. I don't know if I was doing it very well. I do have a channel called English from Zero, Ego Egg, EIGOEGG. PMC Keon says, I could barely keep shadowing in English, and that's my native language. What happened if you don't know a word in Japanese? You work around it. Let me see if I can show you part of that video where I'm shadowing. It's on the Polyglot George channel. I don't remember what it was called. This one. Okay. All right, so let me preface this. This is Tana Mojo. She's a YouTuber. You might know her. She actually lives in Vegas. And what I do is, so here, I won't play it yet. Okay. So I downloaded her video, and this is my take, okay? I'm going to repeat every word that she says in English, okay? Normally, this is like the process of how I did it. And then what I did was I for this video, I synced up what I was saying to match what she was saying. So my goal was say what she's saying, okay? But because I'm a sentence or half a sentence behind, it's off, okay? So for the video, I lined it up, okay? All right, here we go.
Hi guys, it's Hannah Mojo, and I probably look worlds different. Your girl is not your girl without fake eyelashes. Today, I'm not wearing those for a very special reason, and that is because I am going to be doing the how I did my makeup in high school, middle school, just that whole time. I'm going to show you guys how I did my go-to makeup. I wasn't really originally going to do this, but then the text started going around, and I was thinking about it today, and then more and more I thought about it. I was like, dude, Tana, like you did your makeup so fucking ugly, so fucking wrong, dirty, disgusting, just all around, no. And I was like, I need to share this with the internet because it is so funny how different the way I do my makeup is now from then, and how like now I know how to make myself look good, and then I made myself look so much worse. So you're probably wondering why I'm wearing no shirt, and that is because this is a really, really crucial part of the tutorial. You cannot get started with your makeup before you've done this. So you want to go to the store and you want to buy a push-up bra that is very uncomfortable, adds at least 2 cup sizes, and you want to go down an entire bra size. So like I'm a 32 double D or D depending on the fucking store. Just girly things, just bra size information. Oh my God, is your dick hard? Whatever. So I went in and I put on this push-up bra.
Okay, I probably should have prepared you for that. A lot of people thought I was making that up, that I was ragging on her. No, I was literally saying the words that she said. But that's an example of what it's like to do shadowing. Okay, when was this video? 8 years ago. Back in the day. That's what I want you to try and do, okay? They didn't pay you. Yeah, they didn't pay me. That's right. Should say if there's a word you don't know and then translating and you can't stop to clarify. Yeah. Well, okay. In most cases, a word you're not going to know is going to be katakana anyway. You know? It's going to be you can just put it in katakana and it'll work. Matter of fact, you know what's funny? I always went out of my way to learn the non-katakana word for things. But when I was at Varian, every now and then there'd be a 2 groups at once. And I had I have a microphone, right? And a headset. So I can hear the teacher talking into my head, and then I'm transmitting out to the students. And it's got channels. So I would go to the other classroom and I would find the channel where the other interpreter was speaking. I would tune into the student channel. And they were just saying a lot of katakana. Like, I'm like, did you even try? Did you even try to get Japanese? And you're Japanese. I was fortunate because I learned all of those words from the original. And I took the time. I had my notebook, my notebook for, not for Korean, but for that. And I learned how to say like, zetsu and gasu and chokusensei kasokukan and big words like that they just didn't learn. All right, I'm running out of energy, guys. It looks scary how good shadowing you are doing. Yeah, it's just a skill that you build as you interpret. Now, the thing you have to know is the actual scary thing is that's me doing English. You have to translate this into Japanese. And this is only 10 minutes.
They just add 2 cup sizes. So this is the goal. Up to your fucking neck, like tits out. Like seriously, a really crucial part of this, because in high school, I wanted every single boy to think I had giant tits. I wanted every single person to think I had giant tits. Literally every single day at school, someone would be like, oh my God, you have such nice boobs. Your boobs are like so big. And I thought everyone fooled, but they were literally like this. I can't even get them. They were like in school. Like they literally were like this. My bra, I would tighten the strap.
What's funny is this video has been removed from YouTube. It's not even there anymore. but the thing she was saying was so funny. Like I randomly chose this video. I didn't know what she was going to say. It's funny. It's worthy of a full watch. Oh man. I'll tell you what. Those were the days. It's funny that only didn't even get 3,000 views. You'd think you would get more. Well, guys, maybe we're near the end of today's live stream. We did go for 2 hours. Probably should end with a song. You know what? I'll end with the Japanese Muse song since we talked about it. All right, here we go.
Perhaps it was fate. Perhaps it was fate. You falling to the floor. a perfect face. I liked what I saw, I wanted more. You were just a poster, my friend Kyle didn't care. You can have her, George, I know your walls are bare. I rolled you up, careful not to bend. Now you're on my wall, my new Japanese friend. The dimples on your cheeks make quite an impression. You're my new hobby, my brand new obsession. Namae wa nani? Shushinchi wa doko? Toshi wa ikutsu? I just gotta know. Your face wakens up something inside of me, sparking desire for Japanese fluency. I learned kanji, grammar, which verb to choose. You watch over me, my secret Japanese muse. My heart, my soul, my emotions are united. Nothing can extinguish the fire you've ignited. Namae wa nani? Shushinchi wa doko? Toshi wa ikutsu? I just gotta know. I searched, I asked, I looked all around. Then I saw your face and I heard your sound. Bubblegum pop, sugary like molasses. A Japanese idol produced for the masses. From stereo speakers straight to my ears, you're my very own Japanese Britney Spears. You were young, just 19, not so old, 3 years older than me. Born in December in Miyazaki City. I learned everything about you, all the nitty gritty. Asaka Yui isn't your real name, it's the name you adopted to obtain your fame. A red yo-yo, it's the weapon you choose. You could be my skepandeka, you're my Japanese muse. Namae wa nani? Shushinchi wa doko? Toshi wa ikutsu? I just gotta know. Boku no Hat's true love, Boku no Natsu shoujo. When you're on the cover, always by Myojo. You didn't write the lyrics, but the message still beams. You gave me the power to jump into my dreams. You made me believe again, you gave me self-control. It's because of you my circus has any rock and roll. Namae wa nani? Shushinchi wa doko? Toshi wa ikutsu? I just gotta know. You're my seeker, you're my beautiful melody. October will always be Christmas to me. Even now, I sometimes reminisce. I'm sure without you, I would have none of this. You are the one that put the spark to my fuse. Thank you for being my one and only Japanese muse. Even now, I sometimes reminisce. I'm sure without you, I would have none of this. You are the one that put the spark to my fuse. Thank you for being my one and only Japanese muse.
Chinese dragon spitting fire sauce. Chinese cooking spitting advice. I like dragons that can fly and Chinese food with spice. Dragon! Rock. Chinese dragon! Rock, rock. Just explain on the piano, yeah! Yeah! Chinese girls and their long red chibao, yeah! Those are some great dim sums, yo! Hanging with my Kung Fu Master Joe! Chinese dragon, he is a drama queen! What a bitch! It's a Chinese secret, you need a treasure to feel it! Sarah got an army waiting to attack the village. The dragon waits in the volcano, charging it. People in Shenzhen and Beijing waiting for the start of the game.
Dragon, Chinese dragon rock.
You think you can defeat me? I'm the Chinese dragon, never defeated. Come on, boys, give me everything you got. I'll chew up your bodies and tie them in a knot. Dragon, walking towards us now. Chinese dragon, the flames are burning hot. Chinese dragon rock. We are the yin to your flaming yang. You always know we're 1,000 strong gang.
Let's kick this guy's ass. What were the rules again?
Don't get burnt and don't stare into the dragon's eye. To the dragon! Chinese dragon rock!
Come on now.
Let's get to it! Chinese dragon battle! It's time to end. The dragon has met its fate. It sits sliced in pieces on my Panda Express plate. We all eat dragon tonight. It swings in flame gone forever. We will never eat anything but dragon rock. Never, 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 never. Dragon is dead. Dragon is gone. Rock, rock, dragon rock. Chinese dragon. I thought my stories were done, but I got one more in me. This is about a girl that got away, never to return. Woo! And she might not be here with me physically right now, but she's on my mind, yeah. This is the story of how my life got flipped upside down. At age 15, I was standing alone in a Filipino barrio town. You need to learn about money, my dad said as he sent me. The anti-Will Smith, richest of rags, just clothes and no money. There wasn't running water, just a steel pumping a well. The first few days I was sick, not doing so swell. The roads paved in dirt, the house a shack, just 3 walls. No electricity, no police, no one to answer my calls. First I was worried, everything so bleak. I was sick of throwing up, body twisted and weak. But everything changed when I met my Marlene. Pitch black hair, tan skin, cute face, body lean. Bit bap bambina, I'm falling for this Filipina. Humidity high, we talk till dawn and her old father strike. Her eyes shine bright, this is my chance, how, when, and where should I strike? Snick, snack, Santina, I'm enthralled with this Filipina. We sat in innocence, her hand in mine. The clock had stopped, we were lost in time. Bali talk in my mouth, just 5 centavo, my whole guitar. Sharon Cuneta High School in my head, every lyric kaganda. Lumpia frying in the pan, chicken arroz caldo roasting on an open flame. My baby magarap, my pig roasting on a bamboo lace lane. Oh yeah, Marlene on my mind, I learned Tagalog, arrow. Fight flies at night in the river basin, running from Carabao. That's right, Marlene on my mind, black eyes, black hair, and a chanting bongo. I never wanna leave, where else on earth would I even want to go? Nowhere, baby, the P.I. Mic-Mac Makina. My heart belongs to a cute Filipina, sitting on a bench leg to leg, sharing sweet melon candy. Nothing else matters, round hole, round peg, my whole existence dandy. Pip-pap pupina, how can I leave this Filipina? Japan, just a memory, the island's where my heart belongs. The beauty so alluring, the muse of 1,000 songs.
so warm and kind. Is she happy? Is she content? Am I ever on her mind? I left the Philippines, not by choice. Now she's gone forever. I thought I would return one day, but that day turned out to be never.
Kung bumalik ka man, dala mo pa bang hindi? O dala mo lang ang alaala nating sandali? Kahit tapos na, kahit short ang story, you were my first foreign love, my melon candy. Melon candy, hati tayo sa tamis. Sa likod ng trike, parang mundo'y na-freeze. Tumigil ang oras, hawak ang kamay. Pero alam ko rin, di siya magtatagal sa aking buhay.
Zippity dippity cantina, I'll never forget my Filipina. She's part of my life journey, but all good things come to an end. But I wouldn't change any of my choices, even if time could bend. Trickety lick diggity fantina, I was once in love with the napakagandang Filipina. Like white on rice, she'll always be a part of me. Fabric sewn into my quilt, line of my life tapestry. Jiggity tiggity parentina, she was one super special Filipina. Truggity doggity Roman Athena, in my mind forever my little Filipina. Hunkity tonkity elastic neutrina, in time and space lives my Filipina. I'll always remember you, my itty bitty pretty Filipina. You're always on my mind, my beauty booty duty moody Filipina. You always gonna be in my heart, you trickety bickety dickety Filipina. Hallelujah.
Japanese ZZ39. Japanese ZZ39.
No, because like sometimes girls flirt in a way of being like homies, but they definitely flirting. But sometimes girls actually mean it when they say homie or gang or like bro. Like, so you never know. So like take your chance if you like them, bro.
Japanese ZZ39. Buckle up, buckle up, buckle up, buckle up. Japanese ZZ39. Doing day particle, and the first usage is to mark location where the action takes place.
Straight up, if I know I like you, I'm gonna text you right at that moment when I decided I like you. I'm gonna be like, I like you. But if you don't like me, it's okay. Get out. Just get out from this life. Bye.
Japanese ZZ39. Japanese ZZ39. Japanese ZZ39. Japanese ZZ39. Japanese ZZ39.
What is catalog?
Learning a language is dirty. You'll never be clean. You'll always feel like you didn't do enough or you made too many mistakes. But in the end, you have to remember, language is a tool to communicate and not an art to master.
I already made this video once when I was crying too much and I felt like it was reductive, so I'm doing it again. I am so disgusted and ashamed. Let me make this clear. I would never betray you guys like that. We are all suffering under this capitalistic hellscape. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit.
Dear Lord, I just pray over everyone who came on this live today, who was anointed and divinely appointed to be here. And I pray blessings